Hello, hello! I'm excited to join you for just a little bit of your life. My name is Rachel Wally, and I live in Manhattan, Kansas. And welcome, welcome, because this is going to be a quick, fun sneak peek into Mary Kay and what we believe and what we actually talk about and all that. I started Mary Kay in 2005. Believe it or not, I'm a fisheries and wildlife biologist. So I used to not really wear makeup. I was an eyeliner, mascara kind of girl, and that was it. And I worked at a zoo. And so I was the education director at a zoo when I began my business. I was just out of college and I had never tried the products before. And I honestly had a friend who just needed someone to practice on. And I said, sure. And she came over, she did it, and it changed my life. It changed my face. How about that? And when I started my business, I had a lot of, I was not going to do this. So that was kind of funny in hindsight. And so we're going to talk about our beliefs here in a second. And I guess my beliefs at the time were I did not have time. So I was working 50 to 60 hours a week at the zoo. I was busy, busy, busy. And honestly, I don't know anyone who's not busy. I was not a makeup wearer. So there was that. I didn't know very many people. That was slightly concerning. And I think the other one that was really a big one for me was I was not a salesperson and I was not a pushy person. And I really just kind of thought I had to become someone I wasn't. And that is probably the most fascinating thing about Mary Kay is it is not about becoming someone you're not. It is absolutely about transforming into the woman that you are and who you're meant to be. But because of all those obstacles and all those things that your brain tells you hold you back. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of what we have talked about, I guess, in a training we did not too long ago. And it was talking about the 6 things that hold women back from reaching their full potential. Because in Mary Kay, if you have or haven't tried it, the product does sell itself. I mean, the products are phenomenal. We have some of the world's leading scientists and dermatologists. We're a top 5 global beauty industry leader. So there's no doubt that the product isn't phenomenal because it is. So it's really cool because at that point, that frees us up to really work on becoming who we truly are. And there was a TED Talks that I saw one time, and it was with Simon Sinek. And he was talking about how no one cares what you do until they know why you do it. And I think that was my struggle for so long at the beginning of Mary Kay was because I was like, here I am with this amazing college degree, and now you're going to sell lipstick. How cool are you? But I guess once I understood why Mary Kay is even in existence and why this is one of the most empowering opportunities for women to be a part of, I'm all in now, and why I do what I do and what I believe is that I believe we were all put on this planet to make the world a better place. And I found that at the zoo. That was my job right after college, right when I started my business. I loved my job. But I felt like every day was kind of the same. And I don't know if you can relate to me, but maybe if you think about your day-to-day life, whatever that looks like, it was kind of like I'd get up, if you're in school, it's like you get up, you go to school, or if you have a job, you get up and you go to your work, and then you come home and, you're either doing homework or you're cooking dinner, going on a walk, watching TV and going to bed. And then tomorrow you're going to get up. And it was that same kind of replay. And it was just kind of like, wow, this is the rest of my life, and that was fine, but it was just kind of like, And then the other part was the fact that I thought it was amazing to be able to grow professionally, but I felt like there was no environment for me to go to grow personally as a woman. And I just felt like there was more in me, and I wanted a place to connect with other women. And I just wanted that. And so that's what I think is so fascinating to me. And so with this things I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to go all in because I'm going to try to make it quick for you. But this is truly the kind of stuff that we talk about. And it was talking about the 6 things that hold women back from reaching their full potential. And the first one was our confidence or lack thereof. And, when I think of little girls, I think of little girls twirling and dancing and singing and, being little girls. And then at some point in our life, we stop being that little girl and life kind of gets to us and we lose our confidence and we lose our self-esteem and we start letting the world judge us, or we take all that in and absorb it, and it edits our spirit. And that's what I love about Mary Kay, is it's all about building who you are to your best self. And I so believe that. And with the confidence and self-esteem thing, it was talking about how, as women, there was Sheryl Sandberg, if you've ever heard of her, she did this, it was called Lean In, and it was another TED Talks, and it really took off. And she was talking about how as women, we tend to underestimate ourselves and our abilities, and how men tend to overestimate themselves and their abilities. And she has all these funny stories to talk about with it. And so much of Mary Kay, I think that we're born with 2 fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. And any other fear that we take on is a false fear. And they always say fear is false evidence appearing real. It's just not real. And so how fear of failure, how we tend to count ourselves out before we even count ourselves in. And at least for me, thinking about Mary Kay and all those beliefs that I told you there a second ago, I was just afraid to fail. I didn't have any experience in this. I didn't wear makeup. How was I to know I was going to be successful? But at the same point, that little thing would have stopped me. I was underestimating myself instead of overestimating myself. Instead of giving myself the benefit of the possibility, I was giving in to the benefit of the lack. And that's pretty transforming when you recognize that in yourself and in your life, and to give yourself the benefit of the doubt, and to let yourself try and be okay with failing, because failing means you're in motion and failing means you're trying. And I'm all for failure now. It doesn't scare me the way it used to. And I used to think I had to be perfect, and now I know I'm not. And so that's kind of thing 1, or thought 1. The second thought that is really intriguing also is our beliefs. And our beliefs are a big hang up for us, because Darren Hardy is his name, and he has this thing called Darren Daily, and it's an app that you can get. And I remember one of the ones he did, and it was talking about your brain and how your brain is just a brain. Your brain does not house your emotions. It is just a brain. And your brain doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. And so whatever you tell your brain, it will find the evidence to prove you right, because that's what your brain wants to do, is whatever thought you have, it's like a Rolodex, and it's going to go through and it's going to prove you right. And so when I guess going back to me, I was like, well, I'm too busy. And my brain was like, yes, you are. Because remember this, this, and this. My brain was just confirming whatever thought I had, your brain will confirm it. And so it's so cool to me to be able to have a business where you really can transform your thoughts, because when you transform your thoughts, you change your beliefs. And when you change your beliefs, you change your life. And so it's amazing to me how people can take an opportunity, and if you're looking, they can take the same thing and they can either view it as an opportunity, or they can view it as something they just can't do. And it's all their outlook on what their belief is on the matter. Because if you're looking to prove yourself right, you will. If you're looking to prove something wrong, you will. And so knowing how your brain works, that's a pretty powerful force that you can grasp and take on. And know that you choose your evidence. You're the one that is going to seek out and missile find whatever evidence you're looking for. And if you want to prove yourself right, if you say, I'm a successful woman, why would I not be good at this? Because remember the time you did this, and remember the time you did this, there's no reason you couldn't do this, because you're amazing. Or you could say, Remember that time you let that go and that slipped through the cracks? And I mean, it's just, this is your best life and you only have one life to live. And I just go for it, girl. You know what I mean? Go for it. And whether that's in Mary Kay or something else in your life, give yourself the benefit of the doubt because your brain will seek and prove you right. And there's so many other ones that I would love to share with you. They're so cool. But I'm going to go to another one. And oh, this is a good one. This was in this book I was reading called Chase the Lion by Mark Batterson. And it was talking about procrastination and perfectionism and how those are dream killers. And how people tend to be lean one scope or the other. You could be both, but some people tend to procrastinate and put things off for their future self. Or sometimes people feel like they can't do it until it's going to be perfect. And so then they put things off out of that aspect. And when I read this, it totally blew my mind because it was talking about the 80% rule. And it was in a book that this author read. It was called The Next Generation Leader by Andy Stanley. And it was talking about how rarely in your life are you ever going to be 100% certain about anything you do. And so I'm just going to read it because it's really good. He says that generally speaking, you're probably never going to be more than 80% certain about anything. Waiting for greater certainty may cause you to miss an opportunity. Depending upon your personality, no amount of information may move you past a particular degree of certainty. And that kind of blew my mind because that makes so much sense. And there was another book I read. It was called The Best Yes. And she talks about how there's no such thing as the best yes. Because people are getting married every day. And at the time, it seems like the best yes. But, it sucks. I mean, people are getting divorced every day. And yeah. And so it kind of goes along with that 80% rule about how you're never going to be certain. Rarely, you're never going to sleep on something and wake up and be like, I'm 100% sure now. You just have to go with at least an 80%. Like if I'm 80% about this, that's probably the best that I'm going to get to. And that's your leap. And I totally know, oh my gosh, when I did this, I was like a 40% leap. Because I was like, you're going to suck at this and no. I mean, it was just thing after thing, but I just kept going back to the darn starter kit. I'm like, I love that starter kit. It's $100. Like worst case scenario, you get all this cool stuff for $100. Best case scenario is, which I now is it could change your life. But at the end, at the beginning, I couldn't see that far, but that's pretty cool. And so I feel like that's one way we transform women's lives is absolutely the environment. We build confidence and self-esteem in women, and we have these spaces where women can gather and pour into each other. We also have a culture that is unlike anybody can find. I just love giving this gift to other people. And, in the last, since the Mary Kay Ash Foundation opened its doors, we believe in impacting communities. And there's two causes that we work strong and hard for. And that would be cancers affecting women and domestic violence against women and children. And I love that this is not just a face value business, that this is a business I want to do this because we create change. And that's really cool. But the flip of the coin is also how this directly can impact your life. So yes, we talked about, all that good stuff. And then there's the other good stuff, which is financially and also just the freedom. And financially, I love the integrity of our business because when she started this company, Mary Kay Ash, bless her soul, she did not create this company to get rich. She did not create this company for herself. She did not create this company for the product. She created this company because she felt like there had to be a better way for women to live their lives. And the fact that we make 50% of whatever we sell, that's amazing. The fact that I've done this for so long and I make 50% of whatever I sell, and the fact that a brand new consultant signs up and she makes 50% of whatever she sells. I love the integrity of that. It's not one of those things where when you do this, this, and this, then you'll make 50%. You make 50%. You don't have to do anything. You deserve 50%. And there's all kinds of ways that you can build your business and build income for you. And I love showing people all the ways that this is so flexible and fun, and building a customer base and friends. And that's amazing that we have a reorder business, that it's something that a woman falls in love with. And when she runs low, she gets it again and again. And if you can imagine how much extra income 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, just working with those people, it's amazing. And I've gone to my customers' birthday parties, babies, weddings. I mean, we've done it all. Some of my best friends are because of Mary Kay. And I just think that's a gift that I never knew was going to happen. But financial, like if you've ever been financially stressed before, I know I have, it is not a fun place to be. And the fact that you can do something about it without having to get another job that's going to be minimum wage, or that you're going to have to work tons of hours to get a paycheck. I love that this gives women opportunities and options, and that's what I'm passionate about. And then the other thing is the freedom, because I love the fact that this business is, you hold it with an open hand. And when you want to work, you work. When you can't work, you don't work. But we don't have any quotas. And so when I was started, I didn't know anything about Mary Kay. And to be honest with you, I was kind of like, well, I'm so sorry I'm going to say this. I was like, how am I going to get screwed over? That's what I wanted to know. And I love the truth of this business, that it's $100. If you want to have product, you can. If you don't want product, you don't have to. It's just beautiful, you guys. And I just, it's good stuff. It is so good. And so that's kind of the other pieces. But I mean, the fact that, I haven't had a car payment in 10 years, that's pretty cool. And with the cars, they pay 100% of your tags, title, and taxes, and 90% of your insurance for you and your significant other to drive it. The tax benefits for my life, it's amazing to get money back. That's kind of fun. But all kinds of things. But the friendships are what I would never replace, and priceless. Personal growth, there's no price tag on personal growth, and how this changes your life is more than I could ever, I wish I could tell you. And so I'm going to read you guys a little closing quote, and then I'm going to give you the secret password so that your consultant knows you were on. Okay. I'm going to change this. I changed this. It used to be the old man speech, but I've changed it to be the old woman speech. You're going to meet an old woman someday down the road, 10, 30 years from now, waiting there for you. That old woman will be you, and she will be the composite of everything you do, say, think, today and tomorrow. Her heart will be turning out what you've been putting into it. Every little thought, every deed goes into this old woman. Every day, in every way, you're becoming more and more like yourself. Amazing but true. You're beginning to look more like yourself, think more like yourself, and talk more like yourself. You're becoming yourself more and more. And I just believe that we were put on the earth to leave the earth a better place than when we found it. And I know when I get to the end of my life, I want to have made an impact. And it's just, you know what I'm saying. And so what I'm doing is, this is called the Time Is Now Watch, because I believe the time is now. And I think Mary Kay is one of the easiest things to think about and not be 100% certain about. And so because we're not certain, we put it on the shelf and we never act on it. And then that goes into the dream killers, which is the perfection or the procrastination, the fear of failure, what our beliefs and what our mind tells us. And so sometimes you just have to say, the time is now, and go for an opportunity and be okay with just moving through the process. And so the process, if you are interested, is it's $100 to get started. That's your starter kit. It is so cute. You will feel like it is Christmas time when it comes to you. And at that point, it's really great because not only is your training online and you can kind of do that when it works for you, but the other cool thing is you have my friendship and you have my support. And this is a business where you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. And it's just a pretty cool process to work through. And so this is your watch that you get if in the next 24 to 48 hours, you're like, you know what? My best yes is yes. And this is your best yes watch. And so this is cool because every time you'll look at it, you will be proud of yourself. So what you're going to do is you are going to text your consultant the word power is the secret word, and that will let her know you watched it till the end. So power, and you can text her either A, B, or C. A is absolutely the best yes is yes, and come what may, all those things we just talked about, I'm in, $100 starter kit. A, that's when you text A. B is buy me a cup of coffee or let's do a call. Like, I would love some more information. This was really, truly intriguing. And C is thank you for the compliment. That was really great that you think that much of me to invite me on. So you can text A, B, or C with the word power. And I hope you found this empowering because I just believe in you. I believe in women. And I just think that we're stronger together than we are individually. And I think we all deserve an environment that we can come together and do so. So have a great rest of the day. And thank you so much for your time. And we will talk to you later. Bye.